ready to tackle those self-doubt gremlins. Let's dive deep into Amber Ray's Choose Wonder Over Worry.
Ooh, I love that book.
Yeah, it's really thought-provoking.
Yeah.
So we'll be working with the audiobook today
Okay.
and, kind of exploring those stories of facing fear,
Mm.
harnessing the power of self-compassion, and just like practical strategies
Yeah.
for actually like choosing wonder.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about positive thinking, though, is it?
No, not at all.
Ray really guides us to understand where that worry comes from and, how we can actually shift our perspectives.
Yeah. She starts with a really personal story about her dad,
Mm-hmm.
who was this like talented musician and businessman.
Okay.
But he struggled with addiction,
Mm-hmm.
and it ultimately led to this tragic accident
Oh, wow.
that left him in a coma.
Oh.
And, it really left Ray with this heavy sense of what could have been.
Right, like that unrealized potential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this story becomes kind of a bridge to this universal truth. Have you ever felt that pang of regret, like thinking about those dreams you haven't chased?
Yeah.
Or maybe gifts you haven't shared with the world?
Totally.
Ray actually connects this to the idea that, like, the graveyard is the most valuable land filled with all of that unrealized potential.
Wow, that's a powerful image. It really makes you think.
Yeah. And Ray, she doesn't shy away from her own struggles either.
Okay.
Even while she was helping others achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
She was kind of holding back on her own dream of writing this very book.
So what was holding her back then?
Well, she identifies this core belief
Okay.
that I am not enough.
Oh, yeah. The myth of not enough, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's something so many people carry.
absolutely. It shows up in imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, procrastination,
Oh, yeah.
all sorts of ways.
So many ways. I've definitely felt that not enough voice.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's so speaky.
It is. Ray shares some examples that really hit home, She talks about this successful bikini designer who was too afraid to pursue her real passion,
Right.
which was illustrating children's books.
Wow.
And then there's this aspiring author who could write viral articles but totally froze up
Oh, wow.
when it came to writing a book proposal.
It's so interesting how, these are successful people,
Right.
yet that not enough voice still creeps in.
Yeah, it's that inner critic, isn't it?
Totally.
And the thing is, those feelings, while uncomfortable, actually point to what truly matters to us,
Okay.
They highlight our deepest desires.
Yeah, yeah.
And in those moments of fear and doubt,
Mm-hmm.
we have a choice. We can listen to the worry, or we can embrace wonder.
So how do we make that choice? It sounds great in theory,
Right.
but it can be so tough to shift from worry to wonder.
I mean, yeah, it's not about ignoring worry altogether. It's
Right.
more like we learn to, recognize it for what it is, it's just a voice in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
A voice that might be rooted in old survival mechanisms,
Right.
but not always serving us in the present.
Okay, so then from there,
Yeah.
we can cultivate the voice of wonder.
Exactly.
So what does that voice sound like?
Well, imagine a voice that's kind, compassionate, curious.
Okay.
A voice that encourages you to explore possibilities.
I love that idea of worry and wonder as these two distinct voices.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so much easier to visualize that inner struggle.
Right.
But I have to say, I don't think all worry is bad.
Oh, for sure not.
Sometimes it can be a good thing, right?
Absolutely. Ray makes a distinction between what she calls toxic worry,
Okay.
which basically paralyzes us, right?
Right, yeah.
And then useful worry,
Okay.
the kind that actually motivates us to take action.
Yeah,
So it's about recognizing which voice is speaking
right.
and if it's actually helpful.
Yeah. That gut feeling of something's not right here,
Mm-hmm.
which can lead you to solve a problem before it gets bigger.
Yeah. And Ray then talks about this interesting concept of should versus could.
Okay.
She shares this personal story
Mm-hmm.
about feeling stuck in this perfectly good job in San Francisco, even though she felt this pull towards New York City.
It's so classic.
Is it?
How those external shoulds can box us in.
Yeah, it's you're following this path that seems right on paper,
Right.
but deep down it doesn't really align with what you truly desire.
Exactly.
Embracing could, though, opens a world of possibilities.
Yeah.
Ray's story about moving to New York, despite everyone telling her to stay put, is incredibly inspiring. It shows what can happen when we trust our intuition,
Right.
even when it doesn't seem logical.
Totally. It's about having that courage to take a leap of faith. And Ray talks about how people questioned her decision.
Oh, yeah.
But she went for it anyway.
Yeah.
Because it felt right to her.
Have you ever experienced that?
Oh, definitely.
Like where you made a choice that others didn't understand,
Yeah.
but you just knew it was the right one for you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's about honoring your own truth.
Yeah.
Even when it goes against the grain.
Totally. And speaking of navigating those tricky paths, Ray introduces these 3 C's of choosing wonder:
Okay.
courage, curiosity, and compassion.
Those sound like essential tools for personal growth.
Yeah, they really are. Courage allows us to, like, face those uncomfortable feelings head on.
Yeah.
And then curiosity helps us investigate our thoughts and feelings without judgment, you know? It's like a scientist observing data. And then compassion offers that gentle understanding, especially when we stumble or make mistakes.
It's like being your own best friend throughout the journey.
Exactly. And Ray also talks about befriending fear,
Okay.
not fighting it.
Instead of seeing it as an enemy.
She argues that fear is a natural human response, especially when we're stepping outside our comfort zones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In fact, she suggests that fear can be a sign that we're on the right track.
Oh, well. It's a powerful reframe.
Isn't it?
Instead of seeing fear as something to be conquered or avoided,
Yeah.
we can view it as a source of information.
Like a compass, kind of pointing us toward our, like, truest path.
Yeah.
Even if that path is, you know, scary or uncertain.
It makes you think about all the times you've held back because of fear.
Yeah.
What if those were actually opportunities for growth and expansion?
Exactly. It really does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And Ray doesn't just talk about facing fear.
Right.
She gives us, like, tangible strategies for working with it.
Okay.
She encourages us to acknowledge the fear, to name it,
Okay.
and then to choose to move forward despite it.
I think that idea of naming the fear is so important.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking away its power by
Right.
just acknowledging it.
Totally.
Ray also shares, her own experiences
Okay.
with stepping outside her comfort zone,
Yeah.
like starting her business and giving her first public talk.
I mean, it's one thing to talk about these concepts, right?
Yeah.
But it's incredibly inspiring to hear someone, like, actually walk the walk.
For sure.
Ray's willingness to be vulnerable and share her own struggles makes her advice so much more relatable.
Absolutely. And she connects us back to the idea of building self-trust.
Yeah.
The more we practice stepping outside those comfort zones, the more we strengthen that trust in ourselves.
It's like a muscle, right?
Yeah.
That gets stronger with use. The more we trust ourselves, the more likely we are to, take risks and face challenges. And the more we face those challenges, the more our self-trust grows. It creates this, like, beautiful upward spiral.
It makes you realize that self-trust isn't about never making mistakes.
Exactly.
It's about having that courage to try, to learn, and to grow from those experiences.
Couldn't agree more.
One thing I really appreciate about Ray's work is that, she doesn't shy away from those more challenging aspects of personal growth.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Like self-sabotage.
Right.
She dives into those moments where we get in our own way,
Yeah.
even when things seem to be going well.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
She talks about upper limiting, right?
Yeah.
Which is basically when we subconsciously sabotage our own success.
Okay.
Because we're afraid of what might happen
Right.
if we actually reach our full potential.
It's like we're comfortable playing small
Yeah.
because it feels safe.
Right.
Even if it's keeping us from, experiencing that true fulfillment.
Yeah, totally.
Ray shares his personal story about a time when she was, like, incredibly successful.
Okay.
But she took on this job that just led to burnout.
Wow.
Because deep down, she was afraid of what it would mean to fully embrace her power and purpose.
I mean, that's powerful, right?
Yeah.
It's a reminder that self-sabotage can show up in, like, subtle ways. It's
Wow.
not always about these, like, big dramatic mistakes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about those, like, seemingly small choices
Yeah.
that ultimately take us further away from what we truly desire.
It highlights the importance of staying connected to our values and our intuition,
Mm-hmm.
even when that external validation is tempting.
Absolutely.
Ray also addresses those moments when we feel stuck
Yeah.
or uncertain about which path to take.
Right.
She argues that often
Mm-hmm.
this feeling of being torn
Okay.
is actually masking a deeper fear.
Oh.
She tells the story of Will,
Mm-hmm.
who was about to propose to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
out of obligation,
Okay.
even though his heart wasn't fully in it.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's a big decision.
Right. It's a reminder that sometimes the most difficult choice
Yeah,
is the one that leads to the most authentic and fulfilling outcome.
that's deep.
Right. It can be so easy to get caught up in what we think we should do,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't feel aligned with our truest selves.
Ray encourages us to explore those feelings of uncertainty with curiosity, you know?
Yeah.
She suggests asking ourselves, what am I avoiding by staying indecisive?
It's a powerful question.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That can help us uncover the fears and motivations
Mm.
that are driving our hesitation.
It's like shining a light on those shadows and seeing what's really there.
Yeah, totally.
Ray then tackles a topic that so many of us struggle with:
Oh, what's that?
envy.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Everyone feels it.
She even shares this email from a listener
Okay.
who is constantly comparing herself to her friends
Right.
and feeling resentful
Mm-hmm.
of their successes.
I've been there.
Ray's response is so insightful.
What did she say?
Well, she talks about her own journey
Yeah.
with overcoming envy,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging that she used to be that friend
Oh, wow.
who struggled to celebrate others' achievements.
Yeah, that's honest.
And then she offers this powerful reframe,
Okay, what is it?
seeing envy not as like this negative emotion, but as a source of information.
Oh, interesting.
It's like turning envy into a compass,
Okay.
using it to understand our own desires and aspirations.
Yeah, I like that.
What is it about those we envy that sparks that longing within us?
Mm-hmm.
What can we learn from their journeys?
Yeah, instead of asking, why not me,
Right.
we can ask, what is this envy showing me about what I truly desire?
Yeah.
How can I use this as inspiration to, fuel my own journey?
Ray also uses this powerful analogy to illustrate the dynamics of envy and scarcity.
Okay. What is it?
She talks about crabs in a bucket,
Oh, yeah.
how they pull each other down
Mm-hmm.
out of fear and insecurity.
It's a vivid image.
It is.
It captures how we can sometimes hold each other back,
Yeah.
even unconsciously,
Right.
when we operate from that scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
We believe that there isn't enough success, happiness, or fulfillment to go around.
It's like we're all fighting for scraps
Totally.
instead of realizing that there's like this whole feast available to us.
And this brings us to Ray's point about protecting our energy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As we pursue our own paths,
Mhm.
it's inevitable that we're going to encounter negativity or resistance.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ray emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries,
Okay.
identifying our true allies and distancing ourselves from
Yeah.
those who drain our energy.
It's like creating this protective bubble around our dreams,
Exactly.
a space where we can nurture our aspirations
Mm,
without that fear of being pulled down.
I like that. And then Ray dives into this insightful distinction
Okay.
between coming alive and getting ahead.
It's a powerful way to reframe that conversation about success, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
totally.
moves beyond those traditional metrics of achievement
Mm-hmm.
and invites us to consider what truly matters to us.
Right. Are we seeking external validation and climbing the ladder?
Right.
Or are we pursuing a life that feels authentic and aligned with our values?
She shares the story of Alejandra, who felt pressure to conform to her family's traditional values
Mm-hmm.
of getting ahead,
Yeah.
even though she longed for this more creative and unconventional path.
Alejandra's story is so relatable.
It is, right.
It highlights that tension so many of us feel
Hmm.
when our own aspirations clash with the expectations of others.
And Ray's message is clear.
What is it?
True belonging comes from honoring our own values,
Right.
not from trying to fit into this mold.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel right for us.
It's about defining success on our own terms.
Exactly.
Creating a life that feels like a true expression of who we are.
And Ray wraps up this section with an encounter
Okay.
with Glenda,
Who's Glenda?
this vibrant 76-year-old artist
Oh, cool.
who fully embraces her unique personality
I love that.
and challenges Ray's need for external validation.
Interesting.
Glenda's story is like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It's this powerful reminder that we don't need to prove ourselves to anyone.
Right.
Our worthiness is inherent.
Mm.
And true freedom comes from letting go of that need for approval
Right.
and just embracing our authentic selves.
It's so inspiring to see someone living so fully and authentically,
Yeah.
especially at that age.
It makes you realize that it's never too late
Mm-hmm.
to let go of those limiting beliefs
Right.
and embrace who you truly are.
Yeah, it really does make you think about what you might be holding yourself back from.
It's so easy to get caught up in that hustle for approval,
Oh, yeah.
especially with all the messages out there about what we should be doing
Right.
or achieving,
Yeah, exactly.
and buy into this idea that we need to constantly, prove ourselves to be
Right.
worthy of love or belonging or success.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that hustle is often rooted in that myth of not enough.
Yeah.
The truth is, you are inherently worthy.
Yeah.
Your worth isn't something you need to earn.
I love how Ray connects this back to the idea of choosing wonder over worry.
Yeah.
When we let go of that need to prove ourselves,
Mhm.
it just opens up so much space.
It does.
For curiosity, creativity, joy.
It's a shift from a mindset of scarcity
Right.
to a mindset of abundance.
Yeah.
Recognizing that there's enough success, love, joy to go around.
Yeah.
Celebrating other people's wins doesn't diminish your own.
It's like we're all on the same team rooting for each other.
Yeah.
Rather than competing
Right,
for
yeah.
this limited supply of good things.
Exactly. Ray offers so many practical strategies for choosing wonder over worry.
Yeah, she does.
One that really stuck with me is her approach to dealing with the whole "I'm not ready yet" myth.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one.
It is.
It's like a classic form of procrastination.
Right.
But Ray offers this brilliant insight, and she says,
Okay.
the very moment we think we're not ready is precisely the moment that we are.
Wow.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Often we're waiting for some external validation or permission to start, but the only permission we truly need is our own.
It's like we're standing at the edge of the pool, dipping our toes in,
Yeah,
but afraid to just dive all the way in.
right. What would it look like to just jump in
Yeah.
and trust that we can swim?
Totally. And she encourages this, let's just see what happens approach.
I love that. It's about taking action.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't have all the answers
Yeah.
or feel totally prepared,
Yeah.
it's about trusting the journey and believing that you'll learn and grow along the way.
It takes the pressure off needing to have it all figured out beforehand.
For sure. Ray also provides some helpful strategies for dealing with stress and overwhelm.
Oh, yeah. Something we can probably all relate to.
Her suitcase analogy,
Oh, yeah.
is so brilliant.
It is. It's so relatable.
Our schedule's like this carry-on suitcase,
Oh, crap.
and we try to cram so much into it
Right?
that it just won't zip.
Oh, I've been there.
It's like a visual reminder, right?
Yeah.
That we often feel overwhelmed
Mhm.
because we haven't prioritized what's truly important.
It's so true.
We're trying to do it all,
Yeah.
big it all, have it all,
Yeah.
instead of focusing on what truly matters.
It's about making conscious choices about how we spend our time and energy.
Rady even quotes Elizabeth Gilbert,
Okay.
who talks about learning to say no,
Right.
even to things we want to do.
Oh, that's a good one.
That one hit me hard.
Me too.
It's a reminder that we have limited time and energy.
Yeah.
Learning to say no, even to exciting opportunities.
Right.
Create space for what truly aligns with our values and vision.
It's about quality over quantity. Right.
Exactly.
We don't have to do everything
Yeah.
to be worthy or successful.
Couldn't agree more. And ultimately, that's what Rail's message boils down to,
Yeah.
choosing wonder over worry,
Mm-hmm.
embracing our authentic selves,
Yeah.
and creating a life that reflects our deepest values and desires.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into choose wonder over worry,
Yeah.
we invite you to reflect on maybe one area of your life where you might be feeling stuck,
Yeah.
or where that worry voice is particularly loud.
Yeah.
How can you apply that wonder lens to that situation?
Mm-hmm.
What would it look like to choose curiosity, compassion, and courage?
It's a powerful question.
Remember, you are capable of more than you think.
That's right.
Keep choosing wonder.